I'm currently camped just a little bit north of Lake Pleasant in the Phoenix area, and I am planning to do a solo Crown King Scramble 50K tomorrow. So I've brought my rig down. I'm in a dispersed campground. I'm not close to any other rigs. I haven't talked to any other people here, but I have an absolutely fantastic view out of my rig here. Really pretty. And there are some people that have staged their OHVs from here, and then there are some other people camped in this general area, but nobody super close to me. And it is a beautiful day, perfect weather. I think tomorrow's going to be a little bit windy and maybe a little bit cold, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Since I am actually about 5.7 miles up the course, tomorrow morning my plan is to start and go backwards on the course for half of that distance, then turn around and go all the way up. And that way I'll have effectively the same distance and almost the same course. I mean, I won't go down to the lake area. I don't actually want to go into the Lake Pleasant Park area. I think that's probably going to be more crowded. They have not shut the parks down here. So, but the road is right out there, and then I will go up into the mountains for my scramble. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just about ready to go. I am carrying a lot more weight than I am used to. So I have enough water and enough food to get me all the way up to Crown King. And I'm carrying my trekking poles. So the pack's a bit heavier. I keep telling myself that this is great practice for when I get back to Montana in the summer, because in Montana I do have to carry a lot more equipment when I go into the mountains. So yeah, this is going to be good practice. So I think my time is going to be a bit slow today, but I'm looking forward to having fun, and I will take some more video once the sun's up. The wild burros have been serenading me this morning, and they were too far into the brush earlier to get video, but I'm running backwards on the course still, and there's some here on the road. In fact, one of them looks like a baby. So I pulled out the camera, and it's still pretty poor light, but I wanted to get some video of this because they are adorable. They are so cute. They look like little plush animals. Of course, they're going to move off before I get too close, but at least I got a little bit of video. Hey there, guys. Yeah, I'm not after you. I like the 3 sets of ears pointed straight up at me. Very cool. Yeah, I see you guys. I'll leave you alone though. All right, well, that's the way to start your morning. Running with the wild burros. I just turned around. I now have enough distance. I turned around at 2.95, which would have been at the 2.95 mark on the course. So now I'm at the correct distance and headed in the correct direction for my Crown King Scramble. So I just missed the bottom, slightly less than the 3 miles of the course. But like I said, got to be responsible and do social distancing. So I figured starting from the dispersed camping area was a better plan. And as you saw from the pre-run video, that was actually nice. It didn't have a lot of people there. I have been enjoying these flowers. I'm gonna go over here a little bit and get the flowers with the pond there, or the section of the lake in the background. Just beautiful. And I'm going to be swinging around the bottom of that and continuing on up. It's not going to be a very bright sunrise today because it's cloudy, but that's okay. I'm having a good time. I always like this section where you're dropping down off a hill, you know, early in the morning, and you're coming over to this bridge area that crosses one of the long inlets of the lake. And of course, springtime, I'm appreciating all the flowers. I am almost back to where I started from. Somewhere over in there, it's hard to tell when I got a little screen, is Cub. That's my rig, my Sprinter van. I love camping in it. This is just a kind of a view there of the dispersed camping area. The entrance for it is still a little bit up ahead, but I had to get some video that showed my rig. And it's cloudy, but there are some sun breaks lighting up some of the mountains, which is very pretty. So it's very funny because even though I'm, you know, into the race some distance now, it feels like I'm just getting back to the start. And now I'm really going to be headed up towards Crown King. So just the way my mind thinks of it today, since of course I did start here. I'm about 9.4 miles in, making good progress. Obviously a lot slower than I would be during the race, but it's a training run. I'm carrying a lot of weight, so I'm kind of anticipating 2 to 2.5 minutes per mile slower. And mostly I'm kind of going by effort and heart rate to decide how to handle this. I don't want to get injured, like my feet can feel a little sore on some of the downhills because of the extra weight. Definitely don't want to get injured doing this. So I'm taking lots of walk breaks to take it easy on my feet and my knees and my back and anything else. But the sun's come out burned off the clouds, and it looks like a fabulous day. I think this section is really cool looking. I pretty much always take a photo here, although today I guess I'm going to take a video instead of a photo. But, you know, running along in the desert, and then you get to this tree-lined road. So I'm guessing these trees were either planted or the road was strategically placed between them. And really neat rock outcroppings in this old house that I think that would have been just a beautiful setting, you know, back whenever somebody actually lived there. And then of course there's a creek bed right up at the bottom of those that hill there. But just a really neat place and very different from the sections of the course that you've run into up until this point. This is the French Creek aid station. Can you see all those volunteers, and you hear them yelling and encouraging you on? It's really a lot of fun. And of course, the rock with the CK for Crown King. So see our wonderful aid station right there. The volunteers at Aravaipa events are just awesome. So I can still hear them cheering for me in my head. And the scenery here is, as usual, gorgeous. And my memory wants to say that this is about mile 15.1. I'm showing more like 15.5, but that may be just because I'm having to go slower with the heavy pack. I'm past French Creek aid station, which of course was unmanned. And French Creek is where the scramble part of the Crown King Scramble really starts. So up to that point, you're definitely going up and down through the various hills there. But now we start to get into the mountains. And so the climb is a lot steeper here, and it'll go up for a ways. You can kind of see the road up ahead of me a bit there. And it will have some rolling sections, but overall the course generally gets more steep after French Creek. Normally this is a section where I would have a lot of ATVs starting to pass me, because they take this route up to Crown King too. And it is amazing today, Friday. Nobody in sight, nobody in earshot. I have seen a couple of vehicles earlier when I was down on more of the road section, and two of them were Jeeps, so they might have been coming up here. But definitely not the large weekend crowds that I've seen sometimes on the race days. So I'm kind of enjoying the solitude. It is a colder day today than it would normally be seasonally, so there may be fewer people out on the ATVs anyway. And of course some of it could be related to COVID, but there were plenty of people, you know, generally scattered around, dispersed camping, and most of those rigs look like they had trailers for ATVs. So, but really nice, and no OHVs or ATVs visible or audible anywhere in front of me either. So it's kind of a one of a kind experience today. I am enjoying it. The lupin are out in force, just all along the sides of the road here. And this is typical. This is a section that usually has those. I actually pulled out the camera to show this view back down where the course came. So that's where I was just a few minutes ago, or several minutes ago. And this is a great section because I'm always hiking this. I'm not running this. Look at all those flowers. That's just so awesome. But this is a really fun section when you're a slower runner like I am, to look back and see that there really are still some people behind you. At least for me, there are still people behind me when I'm climbing up this. And just quite a sense of accomplishment. The other thing you get to see here, and it'll be hard for me to point it out on the display, is Lake Pleasant in the distance. And while I didn't start at the boat launch like the race usually does, I did cross one of the arms of the lake down there. So I was down at lake level and have since climbed all the way up to here. So I have always found this to be just a great sense of accomplishment to see how far I've come. Currently, I'm showing about 17.75 miles into my virtual race, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm lucky today since it's cool. I may be a little cold when I get to Crown King, but on a hot day, on a sunny day without wind, these climbs are brutal. So I'm feeling very happy that today is a cooler day. And we'll see if I'm still happy about that later on when I finish up. But for right now, I definitely am. One more view back that way. All right, so this is the section where basically you have to walk up the creek. The land on the other side is private, and my understanding is the guy does not take kindly to people going up on his land. So it's a bit chilly, but this is where I walk up the creek. And you can see some OHVs up there ahead of me. I'm trying to tuck away my camera bag while not dropping the camera. And it's very cold water because of course it's snow up in the mountains, or at least it is up in Prescott, and the Bradshaws are higher than that, so that'll be snow. I'm going to put my camera away now. Got to go through this creek one more time. Get my feet nice and cold again. And then I'm going to stop and change my socks. Get the sand out of my shoes. Because I'm at Fort Misery aid station. I am just above Fort Misery now. It's right down there in the trees, or it would be right down there in the trees if this were not the virtual race. And I had a fairly lengthy stop there to get all of the creek sand out of my shoes and change into the what were dry socks. Of course, when you put them in wet shoes, they become wet socks, but they're not quite as wet and they're not sandy. That's one of the big reasons I brought them, is that when you walk in the creek for a long time like that, at least I always get sand in my shoes. It doesn't matter if you're wearing gaiters or not. So I layered back up for a little bit. We had some clouds come in and I got kind of cold from walking through the creek. So it looks like the sun will come back out and warm me up. That'll be nice. Turn me around and there we go. You can see that I'm all layered up again. But I'm hoping once I get moving and climbing again, my feet are still a little bit numb from the creek. They're cold. Usually it takes me, I don't know, probably another mile before my feet feel normal again and I don't feel like I'm running on frozen stumps. So I'm gonna keep on climbing, getting it done. And of course, there are more creek crossings, but these are short enough that my feet don't get cold, and the dry socks actually help me to get my feet warm again, so I'm all good with it. It's beautiful. If the day were a little hotter, it would probably be quite a bit of fun, although I have gotten working again enough where I have dropped my jacket again, back down to my summer layers. I'm not sure this creek's quite as cold as the other one. That's beautiful, isn't it? It's gorgeous. There is quite a lot of water this year. And up until this point, for a little while now, I've been walking along a road that's a creek. And it looks like it separates right here. Okay, I had to stop to get this, because this is just really beautiful, cascading over this rock. I have some pictures of this in prior years, but not with this much water, I don't think. Very fun. I'm on the last section of climb up to Oro Bill aid station, which is mile 27. And sort of an unfortunate thing for some of the off-roading group, but I hate to say it, slightly amusing for me, is that I keep leapfrogging with this one nice family, because they have to take some of the big rocky sections slower. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to end up staying ahead of them now, because at my last creek crossing, the climb out of it, you know, kind of had a big hole area, and there's a Jeep stuck there with, I think, like 4 other vehicles behind it, and all of them are capable vehicles, but that area is really tight, and I don't think there's any way for them to get around. So I may actually beat the family up to Crown King by being on foot. So I do hope they get it fixed and out of the way. Everybody has their different kinds of adventure, and I've done ATVing in the past. Don't do it anymore, but I know I would be bummed if I was hoping to get up to Crown King and was not able to. So, but I do find it amusing that today, at least, the pedestrian method of getting up seems to clear the obstacles better. Of course, I just walked around all the vehicles. It was a little tight, but I got around them. So, at any rate, almost up to Orobel, and then I'll be on the last leg of my journey for today. Orobel would normally be right around that curve. That's the last curve you see up there on that hill. And that's where I'm headed. Here we are at beautiful Orobel aid station. And looks like they got past. Nice work!
We are so amazed at how efficient you are. You're just going, and
but I don't have to stop for the big rocks like you do.
Well,
did they get the Jeep unstuck, or did you get around?
He's trans fluid, and he's burning his trans.
Oh, all right.
So one of the guys had just a hair
to give him,
and he's okay, but
can he make it all the way up to Crown King, you think?
And then he'll have to.
And then he'll have to get. Well, I know I talked to the guy at the general store yesterday, and he said he was keeping open hours, but I don't remember how late on Friday.
Right.
So, have a good one.
Thank you. Keep it up.
Thank you. All right. So it looks like I'll have that family will probably come up, get past me, which will be kind of fun. We've been having fun cheering each other on. Very exciting landmark here. I have reached the pines. So one of the taglines for this race is spines to pines. And you do get up into the pines as you cross over the top of the ridge, and then there's a bit of a downhill into Crown King. So I still have a few miles to go, but I always think of this as the home stretch. And then especially once I reach the top of the high point of the course, coming up here and start down, that's always fantastic. Now, I don't always have a lot of leg left for running the downhills, but usually I can do some. And there was a small % chance rain, but so far I have not had any issues with rain, which is good. I have rain gear, but don't want to have to use it. And I've been kind of layering up and then peeling off layers at various points. When I come into the wind and I'm a little bit sweaty, obviously, then I need more layers. But then when I get out of the wind and it's sunny, then I need less. So, good practice. I'm just gonna finish up this climb and then I'll take some more video down in Crown King. This probably won't show up on the video, but it is snowing just a little bit. I'm hoping it'll show up on the video, but I can't tell because it's very, very fine snow. But there was a chance of precipitation. It is pretty chilly. This isn't enough snow, I think, to make me need to put on any jacket or anything. Here I am, got my earband on, but I've been working kind of hard, so I think I'll be all right. I'm coming into the general Crown King area. Probably just, I don't know, 2.5 miles to go. I don't know this section of the course very well because I never run this in training. I only run it during the race. So I'm gonna put this away and do some more running. But snow, I made it. I made it to Crown King. There's the saloon, my finish line, my absolutely wonderful crew. Yay! And the fans go wild. I really couldn't do it without him, because if he weren't here, I would have to go run back down to where Cub is, and that probably would not be what I would want to do today. But it's very fun to have done the Crown King Scramble, and it was actually pretty calm out on the trail today, so I'm happy, and I'm going to get into the warm Jeep.
Did you get a drink in there?
So I had a really good time today, and even though the race is canceled this year, I still got it done. Another fun part of the Crown King Scramble is getting back down from Crown King. Fortunately, I have a Jeep, which my trusty crew is driving for me. And actually, we have my trusty dog in the back. She's probably not super thrilled with the bumpy ride, but the reason she's back there today, normally she doesn't come to pick me up, is that we are going to go back down to where Cub, my rig, is parked, and we're going to camp down there because, as I mentioned, this is unseasonably chilly weather, so there is still little snow flurries around, which are melting on the windshield here. And so the temperature down near Lake Pleasant is going to be a lot nicer tomorrow than the temperature is going to be up in Prescott. So we figured, since I have to go back down to get the rig anyway, we would spend one more night down there, which doesn't require us to interact with anybody. We already have all of our supplies in Cub, and we'll enjoy some nice little run with the dog in the morning on some of the roads down there. Have a little family pack outing, right, dear?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right, Kiri? Kiri thinks she's in trouble for standing up, because usually she's supposed to lie down when we're traveling, so that's why she suddenly laid down when I said that. Any rate,
Probably
long.
easier on her.
Yeah, it may be easier on her to let her stand up. Maybe I won't correct her next time. Anyway, long drive down, but the Jeep is the perfect vehicle to do this in. And that is my virtual solo Crown King Scramble experience for the year 2020, the year of COVID-19. And I definitely socially distanced today, but at the same time I had some fun social interactions with the ATV people, in particular the family who I got to see at Crown King, and I said goodbye to them. And we all had a couple of chuckles about adventures on the trail. So, but I did not see anybody else running or hiking or riding a bicycle. So, as best I could tell, at least at the time I was out there, I was the only pedestrian on the road to Crown King. It was a fun time.